Get my mic all situated for a big floppy donkey.
Pig,
There we go.
floppy donkey, donkey. Am I good? Donkey. Yeah, I'm good. Okay.
Ready spaghetti.
I forget how to podcast is the problem.
Oh my
This is
God.
Pre-Ramble, so we don't have to do any of that other clerical stuff yet. We're just talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you know? Hang on. What do you know about Labubu's?
Excuse me. Oh, are those things that Jose posted in his story with the like weird faces, like the smiley bear gremlins? Yeah. What
Yeah.
are those?
That's the new hotness. It's this new thing. They're called Labubus, and they look like where the wild things are to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but then you dress them up in Gucci and Prada, and that's the whole idea.
Where the Gucci things are.
I don't. Wow, that like erupted. I was trying not to cough, and that made the laugh just like poo. Oh, well, someone at work got one.
Okay.
And
You've
just
seen Jose
sent
post
me
about
the
him though,
photo.
right?
No, I haven't.
It's
Has
a
it been on
it's a
his-
toy. You know, Jose loves his toys.
I know.
Yeah, he's got a few of those things. I see
Okay.
them like dangling near his brat stalls and Monster High
Yeah.
creatures.
Oh my God. Monster High stuff. My niece wanted those so bad.
Oh my god. I want to buy Monster High stuff, but I know if I start, I'm going to get weird with it, just like Jose does. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to. Okay.
Oh, what's up?
Speaking of getting weird with stuff, I went to a baptism,
That's pretty weird.
an adult baptism.
Well, hang on. Like my baptism, water on the head. Are you talking skaploosh? Like
Oh yeah,
dunking
like
'em?
fully dunked in the fires of the Lord kind of baptism. I guess the waters of the Lord.
Yeah, I've been to one of those too. Wildly violent.
This one wasn't like violent so much as it was like, okay, let me just get into it. So
Okay.
CJ, I know you're listening. this was our dear friend CJ, his
Okay.
baptism.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's going to a new non-denominational church and wanted to just like, you know, bathe with Jesus and whatnot. So he's done that now. Proud of him. Very happy. We
Mhm,
went to go
mhm, mhm.
support him. And he's talked about this church before, and he's like, it's a really cool church. You know, they're not into the whole like fire and brimstone, like super Jesus-y type stuff. It's just about like, you know, how to interpret verses of the Bible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Richard and I are not, I wouldn't even say we're not religious. We're atheists. So like we aren't really church folk. I go to my nieces and nephews' baptisms, but that's kind of the extent of my church going. So we go into this baptism not really like knowing what to expect. So there's two baptisms that day, CJ and this little like 7-year-old girl.
Okay.
And they have these videos that they show before the baptisms, which is kind of cool because they have
Okay.
like a little interview with the church. Like, why do you want to be baptized? What does baptism mean to you? Like, what has called you to Jesus today and whatnot?
Yeah.
So they play this little girl's video first. And okay, I'm sitting behind CJ. We're like in the reserved row for like honored guests and whatnot. So
Okay.
it's the friendship row. And then CJ and his wife and mother-in-law are in front of us. And it's one of those big ass churches with like the screens, you know, and
Yeah.
guitars and drums. It's like a Righteous Gemstones light
Okay.
version. Because it's not, you know, a $1 billion church, but there's definitely some pomp and circumstance about it. So
Yeah.
this video comes up on this big screen on the wall, and this little 7-year-old is there, and the person behind the camera is like, why do you want to get baptized? And she's like, well, I'm an irredeemable sinner, and I'm going to burn in the fires of hell, so I just want to be bathed in the light of Jesus Christ because I know that I am unforgivable, and I'm going to die, and I'm going to go to hell, and I'm a bad, bad person. And Richard
Whoa.
and Jacob and I all look at each other like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Somebody check on this poor girl. Like, what? And
But in the
video
cutest
continues.
accent, though. I'm irredeemable.
I'm irredeemable in the eyes of the Lord, so I just want to burn away my sins and righteous hellfire. It was
Okay.
a lot. The video continued, but I kind of blacked out because I was like, what is happening right now? I see CJ in the front of us, like, hang his head a little bit, and I'm like, is he praying for this girl? Like, what's happening?
He was like, oh man, my answer was not like this.
So we move on to CJ's video after that, and his was super normal. He's just like, I want to be a better father to my children and a better husband to my wife, so I feel
Yeah.
called to the light in the Lord. And it was, a nice little baptism.
I'm sorry. Oh, this little girl. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So they dunk CJ in the bathtub. Yeehaw. Gets wet.
Was it like
gets right.
up high, so like you gotta look up there, or like was it on eye level?
They lowered him down from a crane.
Well, no, because when I went to my brother's, they like had to climb these steps, and they were like
What?
on like the second floor above us.
As
And
close
so we
to
were
the
like
Lord as you can get.
like looking up at them,
That's
and
wild.
like it was like above us.
No, we were looking
Not
down
like-
at CJ.
Okay.
He like climbed down into a tub, and let me tell you, the urge, because he was like, I'm gonna invite the honored guest to come up and be with him during the baptism, and the urge to just like splash him, just to get in there with my hands and be like splash,
Yeah.
splash, splash, play like a ducky in the bathtub. It was very great. We sat down, and there was like a full sermon afterward. So I've been to a couple of sermons before. I've been to the short ones that they do after like Catholic baptism, which is just like, they tend to do not even like a full Bible review type of sermon. It's just like a thanks for coming, let's pray, have a good day.
Yeah.
And I've been to a Baptist funeral, which I think I talked about previously on the show. It was a whole thing. It was like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
This one was only like 45 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. And CJ had told us before, like they're not really a fire and brimstone church. It's all pretty chill. And so the guy launches in to this really not chill sermon about like, I don't even remember what it was about. It was like about Peter and how he had wronged Jesus, and Jesus knew that he had wronged him because he didn't feed his sheep or whatnot. And I zoned out very hard.
Okay.
All I was thinking about was that poor girl. I was like, somebody should talk to her. Is she here? And like, I looked for her in the crowd, and I didn't see, because we didn't even get to see her baptized. I don't know if she was there earlier that day and got dunked and whatever.
Oh. Okay.
Or if she just like, I don't know, fucking lost it and went to be with her good Lord
Like,
early or something.
Do you not? Somebody was like, "Yeah, keep that in the video feed."
I know. They had to edit the
Yeah.
whole video and do sound
Somebody
design.
did wipe effects and everything.
Yes.
You know.
Oh my God. So yeah, after the whole thing. Oh, and I remember too in the sermon they were like, you should be a slave to Jesus. And they used that word a lot. They were like, you are enslaved by the Lord. He is your protector, and you will be a slave to him. And oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love
Oh,
this.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
They used one of my favorite words as a woman in this world. You have to be obedient to your Lord. Prepare
okay.
for obedience, a lifetime of subservience and obedience. I'm not
Fine.
dunking on you, CJ. I just can't with organized religion.
I mean, I went to my Methodist church thing for like a year, I think.
Did you ever get told to be obedient?
I don't remember.
All I could think about was that poor girl just being like, I'm being obedient. I'm a good girl, and I'm going to grow up
Yeah.
and have 10 children by the age of 20, and I'm going to be good.
I just remember getting baptized in my leather jacket.
Oh my God. Have you told that before? I don't think I know this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my
God.
fucking leather jacket that I used to wear to high school all the time. Fucking the one with the like
With the sleeve?
motorcycle fucking jacket with like zippers down the sleeves. I was just fucking like
Fucking ready to be baptized.
Yeah.
Your Sunday best. Amazing.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was in my leather. It was cold outside. You know.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah.
Were you outside? Was it one of those like river baptisms where they like hold you under?
No.
Okay.
It was in the church, and there was like a bird bath thing because they just dip their hand in and they just like drop droplets
Oh, okay.
on your head. So I didn't have to get like dunked or nothing.
It's so weird how different all the baptisms are. You'd think there would be just like one type of ceremony that you do, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, all I could think about the rest of that sermon was like how that little girl just going to be obedient to her Lord forever and ever. And
I just know that like he
afterward-
was looking out into the crowd, and you're just like looking around for that
Yeah.
little girl.
I'm looking around, looking for the girl. Like, is she okay? Is she going to therapy? So afterward, we meet up with CJ, and he's like, thanks for coming. That was great. And we were all like, so about about the Al Qaeda like hostage video we just watched.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. That was super sad. And we were like, okay, we're all on the same page. Great. We were
Okay,
worried
good.
that you were, indoctrinated and this church was holding you hostage or something. And he was like, yeah, I know. That's why you don't introduce children to religion, because they start to get the weird parts of it and they get like obsessed with the thought of sin, and like children are so impressionable. Like,
I mean, so I think I told you this one. When I was younger, I used to go to a Baptist church because that's where my grandpa went.
mm-hmm.
And they scared me so bad. I used to think that the devil would come out of the ground and his horns would like pierce my feet. So I would like do like, the floor is lava, but it's like, watch out, devil's horns are gonna get you, kind of
Oh
thing.
my God. Yeah, that's children and religion, man.
But like, why is that the part I picked up on? Like I really don't know what God said. I just remember his horns were gonna pierce my feet.
Yeah.
And I was scared of that.
That is textbook why kids should be kept away from the church. But alas, it's a really fun baptism. Happy I went. Happy to support my
Nice.
friend. But man, what a time. But in other news, so we all know that I recently went to and came back from Japan.
Indeed.
We're going to talk about that in the main episode, but I wanted to talk about all the movies that I watched on the airplane on the way there and
Because
back.
what else can you do?
I know. The first flight was 14 hours.
Blah.
Yeah, it's a long flight. We flew from, I guess not the first flight, because we flew from Dallas to Vancouver and then Vancouver to Japan, which is like Vancouver is in the far east side of Canada. So we had to fly over the entirety of Canada and then the ocean to get to Japan. So it was an extremely long flight. The way back was a little bit easier. We landed in Toronto. Am I getting my cities mixed up? Is Toronto in the east?
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
your
way we went
place.
through, yeah. One way we went through Toronto, one way we went through Vancouver.
Okay.
And whichever one was closer was the one on the way back. So
Gotcha. Okay.
so the way back, that flight was only 7.5 hours, I think, which was way more tolerable. But the first flight, okay. The first movie we watched, which is a little bit ironic because the day we landed in Japan, the Pope died. On the plane, we watched Conclave.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie?
No, but I know the thing at the end.
Okay.
No.
It was so fucking weird and unexpected. Like, I was ready to give up on this movie. The first, hour, maybe hour and a half were just so slow. It was like basically if somebody took a Game of Thrones plot, like one of the boring ones that they chop up into like little 5-minute segments and sprinkle throughout a season or two. Like they took all the boring parts, stuffed them together, and then just made one movie about it.
And
That's
then
kinda what
made
this
it
movie
voting
was.
season? 'Cause that's the whole point of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're voting on the Pope. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting as far as like political intrigue goes. Like everyone's digging up dirt on each other and like, oh, this person did that, and like, oh, vote for me and I'll help you here. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that was an interesting movie. The ending was a super fascinating twist that neither of us saw coming.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I don't know what I wish for this movie, because if the whole movie had been more about that, it would have been less impactful,
To
And I
find
think
out at
people
the
would
end,
have been, yeah, I think people would have been less inclined to watch it, especially the people who probably need to watch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're a religious person, watch Conclave. I thought it was really entertaining, and I think religious people could do with watching it.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say about Conclave, I think. Okay, another movie I watched. I think you will.
This one. Why does it sound familiar?
Inside. Okay. This movie.
Oh, the Willem
Yes.
Dafoe. Oh, we talked about this one.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Okay, you should. It was so fucking weird. This is another
Of
one
course
where
it
I didn't
was.
know what to expect out of it, because the premise of it is basically it's a heist gone wrong. So Willem Dafoe is like part of a heist team, and he breaks into this really fancy apartment to steal some artwork, and then the heist goes wrong somehow, and he's like left locked in the apartment. So I was like, oh man, how's the heist team gonna get him out? There is no heist team. Like he's on the radio with somebody, and he gets into the apartment, and that's like the last you hear of the heist team. He gets in and they're like, oh, you got stuck, sucks, and they disappear. And it's
Okay.
just Willem Dafoe alone with his thoughts for the rest of the movie. The entire movie is just a bottle of Willem Dafoe going insane
want
in a
that.
really fancy apartment. It's fucking amazing. It's
That's
so
what I want.
weird. I kind of feel like they didn't tell Willem Dafoe it was a movie. They just locked him in a fancy apartment and let the cameras roll and
It's
just to
got
see what happens.
It's got a 2.3 on Google reviews.
That makes sense.
Really?
I don't think it's a movie that the average person would enjoy. I think that you and I would really, really enjoy this movie. I know that I loved it. It was fucking strange. It was everything that I wanted it to be and more.
I mean, I do want to see that one. I knew it sounded familiar. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
I need to
definitely
get that
make
one.
time for Inside.
Yes.
It's a real strange ride, and I enjoyed it tip to tail.
Okay.
Okay, next one I watched, Lisa Frankenstein.
Which we all know about that one. Zelda
Yes. Zelda Williams.
directorial debut. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen this one? I think you have, right?
I have not. I have
Okay.
it. Have not watched it.
You should watch it. It's
No, I
really
know.
good. I didn't know like exactly what to expect from it. I know that it's kind of I was thinking it to be more like the movie May, which is a story about a girl who like builds a friend out of like
Yeah.
the Frankenstein parts of a bunch of people that she kills. That's kind of what I was expecting from Lisa Frankenstein. And it is a bit that, but it's also like kind of a John Hughes 16 Candles type coming of age movie.
I was about
It's
to
just
say,
this-
I thought it was like a campy, kind of like Warm Bodies,
Yeah, kind of.
love story kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's not even like a love story up until
Oh.
pretty much the end. Like
Okay.
she just kind of I don't want to like spoil the whole thing, but
Yeah.
they're not like falling in love in the beginning of it. She's just like, "Oh, you're here and alive. I guess let's be friends." And they just like kind
Oh.
of slowly fall in love over the course of the movie, which is really sweet.
Okay.
And I love the ending, and it almost made me cry, and I was trying not to cry because I was sitting on a plane watching a weird movie about a body getting chopped up.
I mean, I watched Jojo Rabbit on the plane, cried.
Oh my god.
Then I
That
felt
is-
real weird sitting on a plane watching Parasite during the sex scene
Oh man.
because I'm just like, ooh, like
I-
covering
I
the sides of the
can't.
screen.
Yeah, a sex scene on a plane, I would get too embarrassed. I would shut
No.
it right off.
I was like, it's a movie. Sorry.
I can't help it. That's what the director did. It's an artistic choice. Okay, next
Okay,
movie I
cool.
watched is called Caddo Lake.
I do not think I've heard of that one.
I dropped a picture of it in the Discord and asked Burton if he'd seen it, and he can't read,
Oh.
unfortunately, so he didn't respond.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. I do remember you posting
So-
that one.
It
Okay.
is so weird, and I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like every movie you watch on a plane is strange as hell.
Yeah, because that's the only ones they can afford to buy.
Yeah, they're like, what's the weirdest movies they got in this catalog?
Warner Brothers and stuff is like, please, these movies don't go anywhere. Will you please buy them for your plane? And they're like,
Please.
all right.
We can't move them. Yeah, so Caddo Lake it's got what's his nuts, the guy from Teen Wolf with the bald head,
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien. It's got him in it. He's like the main character, and then it also
Okay.
has a girl that was in Sharp Objects, who I really really loved her performance in that show, and she's been in a couple other things I think that are famous, but I can't remember what her name is.
Is this Eliza Scanlon?
Yes, her.
Why do I know her? She looks very familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen her in something. She's been in a couple like heavy hitter shows and movies.
Yeah, like, why do I know her? She looks very familiar. I guess it's just Little Women because I saw that movie.
Oh yeah.
Ah, she's in Old, the
Oh,
M. Night
okay.
Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. That would
there
be
you
whatever.
go.
Cool.
Okay, so Caddo Lake is not an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but he is involved in it.
Oh, okay.
I think you would like Caddo Lake too. Okay, so the premise it is given is like a man is determined to help find a missing girl in a lake. And I was like, okay, it's going to be like a true crime type of thing. And
Okay.
I went into it thinking like, oh, it's a crime story. It is not a crime story at all. There's a part of the lake that when you go there, it transports you to back to like 1952. And it gets really fucking weird.
Okay.
Yeah, you should go watch that one.
It
I
says
mean,
it's
that
on
is-
Max, streamable.
Really?
So yeah.
Okay. That is
Okay.
kind of a spoiler that I just floated, but it's so fun.
still.
And I don't think that's going to ruin the premise of the movie for you.
Okay.
But yeah, Watch Caddo Lake, please. Okay, last movie I watched. Juror number 2.
I am a little surprised that this is a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know he was still
Yeah.
making nothing. Okay.
I didn't either. And okay, so I like from the thumbnail of it, I thought that it was an old movie that Clint Eastwood starred in as he was a younger man.
Yeah.
It's Nicholas Hoult, who looks a little bit like young Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a newer movie. It's got Nicholas Hoult, and he's basically called to jury duty, and his wife is due any day now. She's 9 months pregnant. So he goes to jury duty,
Okay.
and he's like, I don't want to be on the jury because I have a pregnant wife, and I don't think I need to be here. And they're like, guess what? Because you don't want to be here, that makes you a good juror. You're on the jury.
Cool.
So he's on the jury. And he goes into the case, and as they're explaining the case, they're like, okay, so it's this couple, they were fighting at a bar, and you see him have a flashback, and it turns out that he's at that bar. He was like, oh, I remember I was here that night.
Okay.
And then it flashes back to the jury again, and the people are continuing to describe the case, and they're like, and he followed her outside, and they fought, and then he drove off and made her walk home, and then he must have caught up with her or something, beat her up, and threw her in a creek for dead.
Okay.
But that is not what happened. Nicholas Hoult hit this lady with his car, and he is the actual murderer.
I was about
So
to say,
he
let me
knows-
guess, he's the murderer. Okay.
Yeah, he knows that
Pretty
this guy
funny.
didn't do it, but he can't confess to it because his wife is still pregnant.
Yeah.
And it just like it's a whole dilemma of like, what's going to happen? What's he going to do? What's the right thing? And it was just
Okay.
another entertaining watch. So
Also on Max. So
there you
hey,
go.
there's two
Bunch
of
of
them
Max
right there.
movies.
Let me see about the rest of them because I knew about Lisa Frankenstein. Not on anything. Inside. Not on anything.
I'm just not surprised.
And Conclave.
That's probably on Max.
Not on anything.
Really? I'm surprised. Conclave, you'd think right now would be bumping.
Well, it says Amazon Prime, but
Mhm.
like I don't really trust those.
yeah.
'cause
So it's
then-
like, oh, it's on Prime if you pay $20.
Exactly. So I don't trust that.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
have
if I'm
Conclave,
gonna-
so it's fine.
If I'm going to recommend any of those movies to watch, I think Inside is probably top of the list.
Okay.
Followed closely by Caddo Lake and Lisa Frankenstein, and then Juror Number 2, and then Conclave.
Okay. Good movies.
Solid movies, solid plane rides. That's all I got for
I am pretty curious about some of those, so I'm probably going to go check those out. Then you want to get into the beefy stuff?
you. Yeah, let's land this plane.
Let's do this.